working full time in the UK right now and still feel broke.
My rent is f***ing outrageous. This f***ing economy is f***ed and everything is just getting more and more and more expensive.
This is not an exaggeration. Every $500 that I make, I spend $2,000.
How am I working full time and still broke?
Let's dive into it.
This is not an exaggeration. Every $500 that I make, I spend $2,000. Like every large sum of money that I make, I spend double that, if not even more. And it's not because I want to be. It's because everything just is like, it's just bill, 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 bill. Everything's more expensive, but the quality of everything's going, fucking take a bet. When will this end?
That's a really good question. When does this finally wrap up? I'd throw it back to you. When do you genuinely think things will turn around? Because from where I'm standing, I don't see any improvement on the horizon. Not anytime soon. I honestly don't. I think the only path to any massive change is for us to live through some genuine despair, like truly brutal economic times. That's what I believe it's going to take. Because here's what's unfolding right now. The middle class is disappearing, right? Those at the very top, the rich, just keep getting obscenely richer, largely because investments continue to push upward. That's kind of what inflation does. It lifts your assets. So you've got this vanishing middle class, and then you've got the lower tier, the working poor and near poor, and that segment is getting bigger. They're becoming a larger share of the population. And these are individuals who either can't sustain themselves paycheck to paycheck, or they're just one small disaster away from debt. More than half of Americans can't cover an unexpected $1,000 expense without borrowing. That's a truly frightening statistic.
Our lovely government says that I make too much money to be able to get any kind of assistance. So I don't get food stamps, I don't get like any kind of government assistance ever at all. I don't make that much money. And mind you, I'm a single mom of two, not one but two kids. Their dad isn't here anymore. So I don't get any money. I don't get child support. I don't get any help from anybody else. It's just my income. My rent is f***ing outrageous. I literally pay, my rent's $1,500 a month with nothing included. And my credit apparently isn't good enough to buy a house. I don't get the assistance, and this f***ing economy is and everything is just getting more and more and more expensive. So I don't understand how in the they can even say that a person like me, a single mom of two kids, cannot get food stamps or anything. Like, how can I not get help? How can I not get help, but yet a who ain't worked in 10 years can? Make it make sense.
Let me start by saying this straight up. Being a single parent is easily one of the toughest jobs anyone can have. And if you add the current state of the economy into the mix, it becomes even more brutal. Here's another wild fact. Most American households can't get by on a single paycheck. For a single mom, that's all she's working with. One income. My heart goes out to her, and I really feel for every other single mom out there who's having a hard time right now. On top of that, if you earn just enough to get by, you don't qualify for the government support you actually need. That only sets them back further because rent is sky high everywhere you look. And when you're a single mom with kids, the whole roommate situation I bring up in some of my videos, that's probably not the best option. You've got your children to look after. You need your own place, right? It's rough. Then there's the other ugly side. If we do hit a really rough patch in the economy, single moms and folks already at the bottom are going to take the hardest blow. That's the worst part. They're the ones who will suffer the most and feel the biggest impact because they're already barely hanging on. They're already struggling, and things haven't even gotten truly terrible yet. What I mean is, yeah, we all know inflation is through the roof. Everything costs a fortune. But the real danger is if unemployment jumps way higher, like hitting 10%. People losing their jobs left and right, everyone pulling back on spending. People are earning less, not building any wealth. It could absolutely get worse.
How am I working full time and still broke? Like, how am I working this much and still stressed about money? Every time I get paid, it's gone to bills. Like, I knew I couldn't keep going on this way. So I started looking for ways to make money online. I'm still new, I'm still learning, I'm still figuring things out, but I know I cannot stay where I am. Follow me if you're tired of giving all your time to a job and still struggling.
So many people experience this. Every single week, that paycheck hits, and then poof, it's gone. I gotta drop in that South Park and it's gone clip right here. But honestly, this is super common. I see it and hear about it constantly. I even get this on my coaching calls. Folks will join and say, "Man, by the end of the day, I've got nothing left." And that's a terrifying feeling. The number one way to flip that is to cut your expenses, which really just means getting on a budget. If you're not sure how to do that, the simplest starting point is tracking absolutely every dollar you spend each month. And to make that dead simple and totally free, I've put a budget tracker together for you. The link is down in the description. Just click it, drop in your email, and I'll send you the tracker at zero cost. It also includes a net worth tracker and some debt payoff sheets. Plus, I'll include a video that walks you through exactly how to use everything so you can begin budgeting right now. Because once you're on a budget, you might suddenly spot an extra $100 a month that you were just sort of letting slip through your fingers without noticing. Paying attention to every dollar makes you go, "Oh wow, there's $100 I was basically throwing away." And that 100 adds up fast. That little cushion gives you breathing room, right? Room to take a small risk or handle an emergency, like if your transmission blows or something else breaks, you'll have the cash to fix it, and that won't knock you back for months and months. This is how you stay ahead, stay on top of your finances, and keep up with life and your bills.
Working full time in the UK right now and still feel broke. No one's doing anything wrong. Just working, watching the money disappear. Goes in some point in the month. Your rent goes out or your mortgage goes out. Your council tax, more money gone. Food shop, don't get me started. Money gone. Energy gone. What's left? Not a lot. And that's why so many people are just saying the same thing. They're not poor, but they're definitely not comfortable either. They're stuck in the middle, working hard, working full time, sometimes working 2 jobs, but still having to constantly check their bank. And the scariest part is more and more people are just accepting that this is now normal. So I'm asking you honestly, is it worth working anymore? Does it feel worth it financially to be working? Salaries just aren't moving. The cost of everything is going up. It's tough out there.
So that way of thinking is super widespread at the moment. That's just how most people get through their days. You head to work, collect your paycheck, cover your bills, try to enjoy some time with your loved ones, and poof, it's all gone. The whole week you put in vanished instantly. That's a pretty rough spot to be in, no doubt about it. A lot of it comes down to how insanely pricey things have gotten lately. But the real question we should be asking is, what do you actually do about it? What steps do you take when you're stuck in that situation? If I were in that position, totally broke, with nothing left after the day or week or month, I'd be thinking about making a serious shift in my life, a big one. Whether that's moving to a more affordable area, switching jobs, even though I know the market's tough right now, or starting some kind of side gig. You've got folks in here talking about earning money online, and that's totally doable. It takes a lot of effort, but it's real. You bust your butt up front with little to show for it, and then maybe a year or 2 down the line, you start seeing the payoff. On top of that, I'd focus on finding ways to bring in more income, and along with that, I'd look at cutting down your spending too. You've also got to be straight with yourself. Honestly, is some of this on you? I know that might sound a bit blunt, but really think about it. Could part of this be your own doing? Because things haven't always been this tough, right? What I mean is, if you've been working for 20 years and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, there are some choices you need to reconsider about how you're living. You need to figure out whether it's an income issue, an expense problem, or the way you're handling your money. A lot of times, people don't put themselves first. They don't invest in their future because they'd rather just blow the cash. I've talked to so many folks who get a nice little lump sum, like a tax refund, and they're like, "Sweet, I can put a down payment on a shiny new car." That's probably not the smartest move. Instead, you should take that refund and put it into something like Public, the app I recommend for getting started with investing, or drop it into a high-yield cash account so it earns interest and grows for you every month. If you want to try Public, that investing app is totally free. There's a link in my description to sign up today. You can start buying index funds that track the market, like VOO, VTI, SCHD, all available for free on Public. What that does is, over time, your investments start building up. Then you've got some cash, some actual assets, and you only need to start with $5 a week, guys. Keep it small. If you can swing 100, do 100 a week or 100 a month, whatever fits your budget. I seriously recommend you start investing, because when inflation keeps rolling, guess what keeps climbing? Assets. You've got to invest. You've got to own assets.
At 45 years old, I just want to burn my entire life down. I just want to quit my job, move to New York City. Why am I working so hard at this day job? Nothing's going to come from it. There's nothing, I'm not going to get anything from this. Maybe I'm having a midlife crisis. I'm probably just having a manic episode. I'm going into Whole Foods to spend money on things I probably don't need, but I'm ready to burn it all down. I'm ready to burn it all down.
I totally understand that feeling. Honestly, I do. Like, I'm 35 and sometimes it hits me like a midlife crisis. I'll turn to Landabel, my wife, and say, "Babe, what if we just moved to the Philippines or Puerto Rico? You know? Lower cost of living, sunshine, ocean, way less stress, not grinding all the time." But then reality creeps in. Family, my whole life here, the community, the little bubble I'm used to. And then other times I think, forget it. Let's sell everything, get a van, and wander the globe. I think so many people are circling these same thoughts. They're suffocating at work, unhappy, stuck, unsure of the future because nothing's really building toward anything. It's just wake up, commute, work, come home, grab takeout, crash, and repeat. That's not really living. And yet, sadly, that's exactly how so many of us spend our days, just trying to afford to exist.
Well, I never thought I'd be here, 29 and unemployed. I quit my job last year to go travel the country. I built out this car, I lived in it for a large portion of it, and I traveled to many beautiful national parks over about 4 months. But now, I'm back looking for a job, and let me tell you, the job market is terrible. But I'm an optimistic guy. I try to stay positive even when I'm feeling down. So I'm gonna keep on pushing, y'all, but we're in this together. I plan to share this journey with you. I have a goal this year to rebuild myself, to rebuild my mental health, to rebuild my physical health, and to rebuild my financial and spiritual health as well. I'm on a mission, my friends. Feel free to join me for this epic and amazing journey of transformation.
Yeah, there it is. Exactly the pattern I'm describing. Maybe you stash away a small chunk of cash and decide to drop everything to see the world. But once those funds dry up, you suddenly realize, oh man, I've got to hustle for an income again. It's a cycle that doesn't stop. That's why I'm always telling folks, stick to a budget. Keep your day-to-day spending steady. Don't let your lifestyle inflate just because your paycheck does. And anytime you get a raise, funnel that extra straight into your investments. That way, further down the line, you'll have a solid nest egg, a solid cushion, so you can truly step away from work for good. That's the dream, right? That's the whole point.
I quit my job because on $95,000 salary, my bank account is negative every week. We were not meant to live in the service of international corporations that are making money benefiting off of our demise. Worked in corporate advertising for Fortune 500 companies for 5 years. Turning away from my dreams and hopes of being an artist, I began at $42K, which I had to negotiate to move to New York, lived in a 4-person apartment, ended up working until a month ago, remotely, living a comfortable on the outside life in an apartment in Tampa, Florida. Just me and my 2 cats, living paycheck to paycheck. I judge myself for being bad at spending when I spend $100 at the grocery store for my groceries for 2 weeks. Only consistent thing for me from 2020 to 2025 was marketing. After graduating from one of the top business schools in the world, not like flipping my hair, but that's to show the extent to which I was playing the game that the system intended me to, diving into something that I was told would make money immediately upon graduation, working up to a point where I had health care and could actually go to the dentist and primary care physician, in which I used that $95,000 salary benefits to get all of those appointments done, take consistent meds, and go to therapy, in which I was actually able to see myself and
love myself because I had the privilege of benefiting from the resources and opportunities I came across in my life to even achieve escalation up Maslow's hierarchy of needs, satisfying safety, shelter, clothing, food, water. You have the capacity to be intelligent and high performing and living a wonderful life if you have all of your needs met.
Let me just go out on a limb for a second here. In most parts of the country, obviously, I know there are super expensive areas. If you're bringing in $95,000, you should not be losing money every month. That's a spending problem, no doubt. Yeah, things are rough, I get it. But whenever I start feeling bad for myself and thinking times are hard, I try to picture life back, say, 300 years ago, right? Back then, people couldn't even take a hot shower. So then I remind myself, I'm complaining about a problem where my lifestyle today is miles better than some guy named JJ from the 1700s, you know? The JJ from the 1700s is living way worse than me, just because I got lucky enough to be born in this era of convenience. We don't have to hunt for our food every night or every week to keep our family fed. For me, going to hunt for food is just going to my job. And maybe that's a mental disconnect we have as a society, that missing push. Things are practically handed to us. We wake up, do our work, get our paycheck. The paycheck buys our groceries, and we have some fun. But when I'm feeling down and don't want to put in the effort, I think about what JJ would have been doing in the 1600s or 1700s. His whole life was just survival. So I frame my desire to get ahead as my own version of survival. And I also want to enjoy living a good life. That's what drives me. Maybe I'm weird, but that's my motivation. I look around and see so many of us. Yes, we're struggling. Yes, times are tight, but we need a reality check on how we live. We are spending way too much, straight up, and we don't have enough saved.
This living thing is getting crucially exhausting for me. I can't do this shit no more. I'm sick. I'm fucking sick. I'm so sick, guys. I'm sick. Like, this adult thing, every single day is a new challenge. It's a new struggle. It's a new trial. It's a new tribulation. I don't want to overcome anymore. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of being the strong one. And you're always talking about Elvis. You're always screaming. Life is always giving me things to scream about. I'm on the side of the road, and I thank God. I'm thankful to God because it's not, we're okay. But like, I can't afford this shit, yo. I can't. Stupid tow truck already is like $300 because my insurance is booty crumbs, and I don't have the spare tire or a jack. Fucking hell, waiting for the damn tow truck right now. I'm trying to make this shit funny, but like, I don't know how to. I always know how to make trauma funny, but I don't know how to make this funny. Like, I just want to cry. I don't care. I'm just tired. I'm actually fucking exhausted. Financially, mentally, everything. Fuck everything. I don't care no more.
You ever find yourself stranded with a flat right on the edge of a busy road? I've been there. I totally understand that guy in the clip. You're crouched down, swapping a tire, and cars are flying past inches away. You're glancing over your shoulder every 2 seconds, praying nobody clips you. I feel that. Honestly, I think people are just completely drained these days. Everyone's tired of not living a life that actually feels good. Look back at the 50s or 60s. Watch old footage, and it seems like folks were genuinely enjoying themselves. The whole landscape was different. Prices weren't insane, and a single paycheck could stretch really far. A dad could punch a clock at the factory, come home, and afford a decent little house, maybe 1,000 square feet. And that's part of where we've gone sideways. Our expectations have ballooned. We demand the biggest, flashiest stuff now. They just kept things simpler. Another massive weight on people's minds is social media. I'm not saying it's all bad. There's plenty of good in it. But it's absolutely hammering our ability to process what we take in and see every day. That's a huge, huge issue.